Welcome back, everybody. We all know that the weather here in Montana can change just like that. So in these next pair of stories, we'll see what's being done to help both our feathered and non-feathered residents as the temperature starts to drop all across the state. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. You know, my wife and I were watching that TV show Yellowstone the other night, and I noticed they never show winter. I think they've done like 5 seasons. It's all been either in the spring or the summer, and I guess they're avoiding that because of temperatures like this. 21 degrees below zero right now in Great Falls, and that's without the wind chill factored in. Throw that in, we're 42 degrees below zero, and this is going to get a lot worse before it gets better today. Down in Helena, not much better, 17 degrees below zero, 36 degrees below zero is what it feels like with that wind chill factored in, and it isn't even really that windy, about 9 miles per hour blowing through the capital city right now. Temperatures across the state just as cold, except for out there to the west. This has been a trend really all week long. A lot warmer out in Missoula and Thompson Falls. And you know it's winter in Montana when a lot warmer is 7 degrees above zero and 10 degrees above zero. But everywhere else, we're looking at 20, mid 20 below zero for the actual temperature, and then that wind chill. Almost 60 below zero, 60 degrees below zero Fahrenheit right now in Havre. 54 below in Cutbank, Jordan 44, Glasgow 50, 39 below zero in Glendive. Just all across the board, everybody in the negative, except for Thompson Falls. So if you want to heat up, head over to Thompson Falls this morning. And like I mentioned, it's going to get worse before it gets better. As we head through our Wednesday, temperatures continue to plummet with that wind chill factored in. At around 2 o'clock, we're still looking at 47 degrees below zero in Helena, 45 in Great Falls, up in the 50s, 50 below zero along the High Line. And not a lot of change as Wednesday afternoon becomes Wednesday evening, which becomes Thursday morning. Today and tomorrow, brutally cold, seriously cold, dangerously cold conditions all across the state are sticking around, but it will change Friday and change quickly. This goes without saying, but saying things is my job. So here we go, wind chill advisories and warnings all across the state right now, and still, this is probably going to taper off as we head throughout this afternoon, but we got that winter storm warning because of that snow that rolled through, specifically in the Helena area. The next time you're here at Helena College, make sure you don't forget your shades, because this institution of higher learning is now one of higher power, all thanks to these newly installed solar panels that the college hopes will just be the start of a brighter future.
We had concerns on campus, particularly in our trades programs.
MAC Pass looking a little slick from our cameras this morning, but no new snow in the forecast for that area immediately this morning. That will be coming, though, here at the end of the weekend. And then temperatures across the state, a little cooler out there in eastern Montana. We'll see why. I think you know here in a couple of seconds. And again, warmer out in the western side. Missoula actually dropped down. They were in the 20s earlier this morning, now looking at 15, even without that wind chill thrown in. But with it thrown in, just because I'm a glutton for punishment, 13 degrees below zero in Havre as of this moment right now. 5 above zero, though, in Cutbank and out to the east. There it is. The wind is the biggest factor for a lot of areas out there in eastern Montana right now, feeling like they're below zero. And here's why. Not a lot going on for most of us, no weather alerts, but there is a big one, a big red one out there in eastern Montana. That blizzard warning that was in effect pretty much all the first half of this week extended both in time and scope out there today, lasting until officially 9 o'clock this morning. Now, of course, I wouldn't be shocked if that was extended because that weather doesn't absolutely end at 9 a.m., but it's also been expanded to both North and South Dakota. And I know South Dakota is an area of importance for about half of you watching me right now. Brookings is under a winter storm warning until 3 o'clock this afternoon. So if you still are planning on driving down there to Brookings for the Bobcats game tomorrow at 2 o'clock, you're going to, please be careful. I don't know how much time that you're going to need to give yourself. I know it's about a 14-hour drive from Helena to Brookings on a good day, but blizzard warning, roads are closed. Just if you absolutely still have to leave, please use as much caution as possible because this is no joke. It could and looks very dangerous out there right now. Speaking of that game, though, Here's what we're looking at. Here's game time conditions for our boys. A optimistic 10 degrees is what I'm thinking right now at around 2 o'clock. Realistically, it'll be a little bit cooler than that, especially with some wind blowing through the stadium. And not the worst weather that we've seen. Of course, if you're already safe and sound there, just bundle up. And nothing different than we're dealing with here. It's just getting there that'll be the problem.
Welcome to MTN Outdoors.
Welcome everybody to this week's episode of MTN Outdoors. I am once again your guide, Andy Curtis, and we're here at Great Divide in Marysville because there is snow on the ground and more importantly up here in the mountains, which means everybody is now thinking about one thing all across Montana: the history of Yellowstone National Park. Okay, maybe that and skiing. So coming up in tonight's episode, we'll actually dig into this story that not a lot of you know about, involving survival in Yellowstone long before it became our nation's first national park. We'll also head out to the Magic City to see what's going on with that moose that is still on the loose in Billings. But before we get to any of that, we'll check in on snow conditions all across the state as you powder hounds out there are busting out the skis for what's shaping up to be another great season here on the slopes. We'll start off at Showdown with MTN's Cade Mentor. Good morning, everybody. Winds sticking around and being pesky today across much of the state, and that goes double for Great Falls. So it will be a windy but warmer day with temperatures getting up into the 40s. Not a lot of sunshine though. Cloud cover pretty thick and widespread until we get to Saturday. So the last weekend of 2022 looks to be pretty nice. Sunshine, temperatures in the 40s. I'd say that's one heck of a way to welcome in the new year. Well, that should just about do it for us here this week at MTN Outdoors. Thank you again, everybody, for making me a part of your week. And remember, as you're out here enjoying the great outdoors all across Montana this winter, send me your photos. Skiing, snowboarding, snowshoeing, ice fishing, sledding, making a snowman, anything, everything. If you're doing it outside, I want to see it. Andy.Curtis@ktvh.com, and you could see yourself at the end of a future episode, very much like these photos. It's time for this week's MTN Outdoors Brag Board. We'll kick off the brag board with some wild-looking weather. This picture was taken by Beth, just north of Helena, of what looked to be wave clouds. Now, from what I'm told, this is actually pretty rare. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, these kinds of clouds are formed when stable air moves over a hill or mountain, like we see in the picture, and is forced upward. Then a little thing called gravity brings that air back down, creating this ripple effect. The more you know. Thanks for sending in that picture, Beth. We've actually got a bit of a warming trend right now across the state. Temperatures quite a bit warmer than they were at this time yesterday, the day before, and even the day before that. 49 degrees in Great Falls, 53 up in Havre at the moment, 57 in Cutbank. We were right around freezing yesterday at this time, and now we've added a whole lot of warmth to that area. It won't stick around very long, but right now, a good start. Good, comfortable start to the day up along the High Line. 38 degrees in Helena, so this is about on par with what the capital city's been seeing. This isn't, though. A big change here, some weather alerts across the state. This one's been in effect pretty much all week and will go until later this morning. Air stagnation warning up there, air stagnation advisory in the northwest part of the state. Just no air movement, no wind, so any pollutants from car exhaust, for example, staying put. This one's new and a sign of things to come. Winter storm watch in southwestern Montana and up around Showdown. And this, we had a sneak preview of this yesterday, and here it is officially. Fire weather warning. Wind will really be picking up, and with dry conditions, that could be a problem today, but we'll take a look at that in depth in the full forecast. It may not look like it at first, but today is the perfect kind of day for a well-dressed stroll through the park here in Lincoln at the one-of-a-kind art installation, Sculpture in the Wild. Located just east of downtown, the almost decade-old destination showcases some truly unique pieces of art from artists all over the world. And even though it's beautiful at any time of the year, board president Becky Garland thinks it's even more breathtaking right now. And not just because of the temperature.
We are here at one of my favorite times of year. You can brave the winter here. We try to make sure that the trails are groomed.
Becoming a reality in 2014, the park is the brainchild of Rick Dunkerley and Kevin O'Dwyer. And the ball really got rolling around this iconic piece.
The day that Kevin saw the Delaney sawmill teepee burner, and that was up on the Landers Fork of the Blackfoot. And he just went, that's the icon we need to start this park that gives it its history, its industrial history. It's where we have all of our events. In the summer we have music events on Saturday afternoons between 4 and 6. And that was kind of the beginning of it.
The first year they had 5 artists from all across the globe. And every year since, 2 new artists call Lincoln home, allowing them to invest themselves into the town. This year, Bentley Spang and Stuart Frost are the new additions. And with new artists, new people are making the trip to Lincoln.
In 2020, 53,000 people. And this year, I believe that we probably will have 48,000 people at the end. So it's important for telling a story. It's important for a small part of our economy, but I think the greatest thing has been bringing Lincoln together, either telling their story about, what they remember of a teepee burner, or coming to volunteer. I mean, volunteers are so important to our park.
And this distinctly Montanan art exhibit is important to Lincoln as well.
We hope that 2023 is going to be a booming year, and we're going to celebrate all year long. It's going to be great.
And you know the old saying, there's no bad weather or bad art, only bad clothing. Bundled up here in Lincoln, Andy Curtis, MTN News. And at least 60 million people are facing record cold temperatures starting today. The National Weather Service says freeze watches and warnings extend as far west as Colorado to the northeast and south to Florida. Forecasters say temperatures will be between 10 to 25 degrees below average, with freezing temperatures expected near Atlanta, Georgia, and Jackson, Mississippi. Temperatures are cold to start around here today, but we are far from any kind of record cold here in Montana, and we have a great couple of days ahead of us. Once we get into the afternoon, temperatures getting as high as 70 degrees, 72 to be exact for our high today, plenty of sunshine. So we have an amazing couple of fall days ahead of us here, not just in Helena, but statewide, staying right into the 70s until Thursday. Now, nighttime lows are much like today. We're in the 30s, but still above freezing. I'll take it. It looks pretty good. Here is when things start to change. Now, we have no wind to speak of today and tomorrow, but that won't be the case on Thursday. Now, it won't be hurricane level wind blowing through the state, but wind will start to pick up because a change is a-coming. We go into Friday there, 63 for the high, more cloud cover than we've been seeing. And then check that out. First day of general firearms season on Saturday. You could see a few snowflakes. Thanks for watching. Have a great and safe rest of your day.